All right, so here we are, week 3, session 2, and where I'm going to pick up is where I left off yesterday, which was putting the graphics on our mock-up, okay? This is the flat mock-up. We're going to do the 3D mock-up next week. So I'm going to start off by zooming in on this thing a little bit so I can kind of get a look at what I did. And we'll do a very quick review. So what I have here is I have my front panel, and there were certain elements that we had to include. One of them was the type of pepper. I chose the Serrano. I have the Serrano right there. This is my logo, which here's your logo, and I updated the logo, made it a little more interesting by adding color to it. I also correctly placed this logo on the front panel where you had it incorrectly placed over 2 panels. I added the copy beneath it, Wild Bill's hot sauce, whatever it says, gourmet hot sauce, and I've increased the size of that, and I've used that as an element. This is also a required piece of copy, and that is for great recipes, visit, and then there's the email address. Now you have these cute little graphics on this side here, and I'm going to talk about them in a minute. But what I did was I went online and I found other graphics to support that are similar to these graphics so that I could put that on the front because I had a gap in there. So I put this on there. And then this is also a required element, the net weight, which we picked up from the required element sheet. Okay, and the sides, I let you use the sides the way you have them right here. Again, I'm going to talk about them in a minute. But let's go to the top real quickly. So what I did on the top was I basically put the brand or the type of chili, the Serrano, and then Wild Bill's gourmet hot sauce. And notice I have that facing out. Okay, because if you fold this box up, this will face front, and this is the front, this is the back. All right, now more required elements. Spicy is good, but it's not enough. That's a title that goes on the back, and there's some copy that goes on the back. The nutritional facts, okay, the nutritional facts go on the back. They are followed by can't read what that is. I think it's ingredients. Yeah, the ingredients. Okay, so we have the ingredients down here beneath the nutritional facts. There has to be a barcode, so I have a barcode there, and then manufactured by. Let's go view, zoom out. All right, so basically, view, zoom out again. Basically, there are our required elements, okay? I also showed you how to properly put the colors into the box. I also demonstrated how to build the box, and of course, we have layers with all this stuff right here. So it's very important that you follow this procedure in order to make this work. All right, so now, and again, this is not too difficult to understand at this point, but what's really important is that you understand that the required elements really have to appear there, and you have to put them in however you decide to put them in. In my case, you know, I've done this the way I've done it here. This was not a required element. It was something that I thought visually would help. This was a choice I made. I just thought it would be a good idea to go Wild Bill's gourmet hot sauce, go big, you know what I mean? So that's basically the title of this thing. And again, you could organize this any way you want, or you could follow the layout that I put in there. It works. Now here's the problem. The problem is you have these graphics on the side here. Now the warning hot is actually fine. I don't have a problem with the warning hot. What I have a problem with is the graphic that you chose, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to zoom in on that graphic. Okay, so first of all, this graphic is a bitmap. There you go. You can tell it's a bitmap because there is the actual frame showing the bitmap. It's got a transparent background, but it is a bitmap. This is a piece of vector art. Look at the difference between the two. That's a piece of vector art. That's a bitmap. Now, eventually, and there is a difference, and it's important to understand this because eventually what we're going to do is we're going to mock up a box, a three-dimensional box. And in order for us to mock up the three-dimensional box, the artwork has to be prepared a certain way to make it work right and look good. So part of what I'm going to do today is show you how to prepare this artwork so that we can actually do this mock-up. Now, back to what I was saying. This piece of artwork, as you can see, compare it to mine. Just look at yours and look at mine. Mine is very crisp, very clean, very sharp. Yours is fuzzy and it looks terrible. So the bottom line is, you know, we want to improve this. Now, how do we improve this? Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going into my announcements. And what I did, I'm going to click on this announcement that says links to funny, oh, and I spelt this wrong, pepper cartoons. And I spelled it wrong, so let me edit it. I'll fix it right here and right now. P-E-P-P-E-R, pepper cartoons, okay? And I'm going to save that. There we go. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to open up these links, okay? So this is the first link. Go into here. And this is what they are. They're a bunch of different graphics that are pepper graphics. As a matter of fact, there's the pepper graphic that I used. You're going to find tons of pepper graphics in here, okay? So I'm supplying you with the links so that you could actually go in here and you could find these graphics. Now, the one thing that you're going to want to do here, this is very important, is you're going to want to go, first of all, to images. Then you're going to go to tools, okay? And you're going to go to the size. And you're going to pick, I chose larger than 1024 by 768, all right? That's what I chose. And you can see, it says right there. And all those images that are at least that size will come up, okay? So I'm going to close this because I want to show you the other link. Here's the second link, okay? And again, this is the same thing, all right? These are images, and these images are very much like the images that I'm using on the front. As a matter of fact, there's my front image right there. And there's a whole bunch, and here's one of the ones that I'm going to use on the side. I'm going to replace the one that you did with this one, and I'm going to show you how to prepare this because I want you to do this. But you can see there's a whole lot of really good images in here that you could use, okay? Great images that you could come in and you could use. And I really, really want you to do this, not because I'm trying to be a pain in the butt. I'm trying to do this because I'm trying to help you to become a good designer. And there are things that you can do to make your work look really great. And the more effort that you put into this and the more you make your work look great, two things will occur. Number one, you'll learn the program well, which will make you a better designer. The bottom line is, you know, people want to hire you because you have skills. And I'm trying to show you things that will increase your skills and give you a better sense of how this program works, which will make you more valuable, okay? So those are my links for you. You'll go in and you'll choose another image. Now, let's go back to this for a second. Let me hit cancel here because I don't want to close this. Okay, so this image is no good. This image is real good. All you have to do is look at the two, and you can see what I'm talking about. And what I'm getting at is it's not impossible to come up with a better image, and that's what I'm going to show you next. All right? All right, so we're going to deal with this hot warning in a minute, but let me go into this file right here, which is Chili Pals. Okay, so here's what I want to show you. This is important. That right there is a bitmap. This is the bitmap that I brought into I saved it to my desktop. I saved the bitmap to my desktop. I brought the bitmap into Illustrator and I traced it. And when I traced it, I get this. So now this is a piece of vector art. And I can use this vector art. I can scale it up. I can scale it down. I can do a ton of stuff with this, which makes this far more valuable. And I also want you to look at the quality of this. The quality of this is absolutely beautiful compared to the quality of what you got here. Let me just show you. I'm going to come in closer. Look at the quality of that. It's absolute crap. It is just not good. You look at this, it looks beautiful. You look at that, it doesn't look good at all. And all I'm saying to you is that it is possible for you to make this look better, all right? And I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, so we're going to go into Chili Pals. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to zoom in onto this guy. I already did this one here, so I'm not going to do it again. So I'm going to do this one right here, okay? Now, I want you to notice something. This piece of art has a logo over it. So in reality, you wouldn't be able to use this other than for my mock-up and for the piece that you're doing. In reality, you'd have to purchase this piece of art. And if you purchase this piece of art, you might not have to actually do what I'm showing you how to do because you get the piece of art in a usable form. But if you wanted to create a mock-up prior to purchasing this, if you wanted to do something that you could then show to your client and say, this is what I propose to do, and if the client likes it, you would then go in and purchase this piece of art, because I think to purchase this piece of art's only like $12. So it's not like it's a ton of money to purchase this. The client could conceivably put that kind of money out. But you might want to, the client might want to actually, you know, have a say on it before he dumps $12 into something that in the end he may not want to use. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to create a nice layout that will show the client where I want to head with this. So I'm going to replace your piece of art with this piece of art. And what I'm going to do is I've got it selected. It's a bitmap. Very important for you to understand that first. It's a bitmap. My goal is to turn this into a piece of vector art, just like you see there. That's a bitmap. That's vector art. This is a bitmap. It is going to become a piece of vector art. So what I probably should do is go edit copy, and let's go edit paste in place. And let me drag this down here. Let me drag this down here so we have a duplicate so that you can see the before and after. Okay, so I select this guy. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the object menu. I'm now getting ready to convert this thing into a piece of vector art, okay? So this is the process by which I do this. I'm going to go to the object menu. I'm going down to image trace, and I'm going to start off by going object, image trace, make. And I get this, which is essentially the program's effort to convert this into a bitmap. Now, there is a panel here called the image trace panel that I'm going to open up. There's the image trace panel. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a series of steps in this panel to adjust the settings in order to get me colors. All right. Now, I think what I probably need for this is about 9 colors, but I need them to be color. So right now, the mode is set. If you look here, the mode is set to black and white. I'm going to drop this down, and I'm going to switch it from black to white to color. And since it will convert this to color, as you can see, already this looks really good. The problem is it's like 30 colors. And I don't need this to be 30 colors. I need this to be like maybe 9 colors. I think 9 colors is probably good enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the colors, and I'm going to drag this down until I get 9 colors. And let's see what 9 colors look like when I actually get there. There, that looks really pretty good. 9 colors is what I want. And actually, everything looks pretty clean like this. I could come in here, and I could do things like get rid of the noise. Let's see if getting rid of the noise helps it any. Well, it doesn't hurt it at all. It actually looks really good so far. So actually, I'm okay with that. And the corners, you know what? I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to bother with the corners. I'm not going to bother with the paths. I think I'm just going to stick with it. So I went in here, and I changed the mode to color. And I made the colors 9, and I got the noise down to 1 pixel. So I really removed as much noise as I could. Now what I'm going to do is go to the object menu, and this is where the whole magic happens. Go to the object menu. I'm going to go to image trace, and I'm going to expand it. And there you have it. This is now a piece of vector art. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select it. I'm going to go Object, Ungroup, okay? And I'm going to get rid of the outer side of this, which is still white. That's going to go away. The white is there, and I'm going to delete that. There's an area of white. I just deleted it. Now what I'm left with is this. I'm left with that piece of art. All of its a vector piece of art. And it actually looks pretty good. There are a couple of areas here that has copy over it that I have to fix. Now, I could leave them alone, or I could go in and fix that. And I think what I'm going to do is, just to show you how to do it, I am going to go in and fix it. So what I'm going to do, because this is interesting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I go about correcting this. There's some areas here, and what it is basically, it's type that's overlaying this. That's what the problem is. So I'm going to actually try to clean this up and make this look right. You can see a little bit of it here. You can see a little bit of it here, a little bit of it here, here, you know, here. Some of it's okay. Some of it has to be fixed. All right, and see some of it in the tongue there, and there's an area here. So there's a couple of areas. There's an area of it here. I just want to clean that up. So I'm going to zoom in on this, all right? And as I say, since this is a mock-up, I don't really have to do this, but I want to show you how to do it because I want to teach you things. All right, so I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to get this tool here called the Blob Tool. Now, what the Blob Tool is, it's basically a paintbrush, but what it does is it paints with fills, which is very cool. So that means that I have the ability now to come in here, and I can sort of paint away some of the garbage that I have in here, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to start off by taking the eyedropper tool, and I'm going to click right in that area right there. And then I'm going to get my blob tool, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to paint. And can you see what it does? It just literally paints that away. Now, you see this area here of that dark red? I want to get rid of that area of dark red. So once again, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to get the eyedropper tool. Now, the real color should be this lighter orange. So I'm going to sample that color, and there it is. It's right there. Then I get the blob tool, and I come over here, and I can kind of come up, and I can just sort of paint this away. Now, you don't have to be terribly exact with this because nobody's going to see the little bit of mess there, but I'm going to paint away as much of this as I can, all right? And I'm going to try to be somewhat careful with it, and I'm just going to paint away as much of this as I possibly can, like I'm doing right now. See, and it's not that difficult. It's kind of the same thing that I did when I was working on your logo with the banner. I'm just painting away the color that doesn't work, that's not correct. All right, and you can see I left a little bit of it here and here and here, but nobody's going to see this. Now, there's a whole lot of color right here that doesn't look right, so I'm going to work on that next. Get the eyedropper tool, sample the yellow that I'm looking for, which is that yellow right there. Get the blob brush tool, and then come in here and look. I can just paint this away. It's really simple, and it's very cool. I can paint this away. There we go, and I'm just painting away this darker orange color. It's fun, really. I mean, I enjoy doing this. And in the end, it's really going to make your artwork look great when you get done with this. So I'm going to keep doing this. I'm just going to paint this stuff away here. And you got to be careful along the edges a little bit. Take your time and do this nicely like I'm doing. There's no rush. Just do it nicely, okay? And you're cleaning up the artwork, getting rid of some of the color like that. And there's a little bit more I'll get right there. There we go. All right. Now over here, I'm just going to keep moving in this direction because it's only across the middle, basically, where I get some of these problems. And I don't have to clean it all up. I just got to clean some of it up. You see, like this area, I'm going to leave that. This area, I'm going to get, I'm going to probably knock a little bit of this out. Maybe I'll leave a little bit of this, but I will knock some of this out. All right. So what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to sample. I'm going to start working. Let's see, I'll work right here. So I'm going to click on that to get that orange, get the blob tool, and then I'm just going to come over here carefully, and I'm going to get rid of that yellow right there, like that, and then I'll just eat away at the center like that. I'm painting it away, that's all. And now I'm going to get this orange in here, and I'm going to get the blob tool, and I'm just going to come in here, and I'm going to paint away that orange as well. And again, as I say, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just do it, try to do it as neatly as you can. I mean, the overall effect is that you're going to improve it, and you don't have to kill yourself doing it, all right? You just keep coming in here, and you're just going to clean all that orange away. Get rid of that orange. And this is the hard area when you go on against an edge like this, but you don't have to be exact. You have to be fairly close, and I'm doing this pretty well. See? And I'm just painting it away. Painting it away. And that looks really good. Now I'm going to come over this way, and I'm going to take a look at some of these flames and see if I can get rid of some of these flames. Some of this stuff doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, for instance, this area here is the most noticeable. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm probably going to come in here and start with the most offensive areas first. And this is probably a really offensive area, so I'm going to start with this first. Let me come in here and see if I can clean this up a little bit. Get rid of that because it's very noticeable. I'm going to see if I can just kind of work out the most noticeable down to the least noticeable. That was very noticeable, and now that's gone. This is noticeable. I'm just going to kind of whip through here and get rid of that. Okay. Again, I'm not trying to be perfect right now. And let me get this color to make sure I got the color right. And then I'm going to come in here and I'll paint this away. Let's see if I can paint some of this away like that. There we go. Maybe a little bit closer. I'm trying to paint away where these colors went to the orange color or to the color that it's actually just converting it to color, and I don't want that. So I'm just cleaning some of it out, getting rid of some of it. There, that's gone. Now, let's see, what's the most offensive thing? Actually, most of this looks like it's pretty much okay. Might even be able to leave some of this alone. But I'm cleaning it up. I'm trying to make it so it doesn't look like there's just type that's been somehow or other hidden in there. I'm trying to get rid of some of that. All right, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just cleaning this out. And here, I think what I'll maybe do is, let me click on that color, and let me come in here, and let me see if I can just maybe, whoops, wrong one, wrong tool. Let me see if I can just kind of like slide it right down here, like this. Let me see if I can do that. There we go. That's actually pretty good. Okay, and I think I'm probably, let's go view the Artboard and Window, and I think probably, yeah, I think probably that's enough that I can probably get away with that, just like that. I don't see any more. I don't see any more image of text anymore. The text is gone here. It's blended in here so that it doesn't look really bad. I think we're in good shape. So what I'm going to do is go File, Save. Yeah, Save. Okay, and hit OK. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this thing. Let me select all of it. Let me get all of it. Let me get all of it here. And let me go Object Group. Edit Copy. Let me go back to my assignment, and I'm going to go Edit Paste. And I pasted it in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale it down a little bit. Let me just scale this thing down. Let's make it, I don't know, let's try 70% and see if that works. Probably okay. Let's see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take yours, all right, which is here, move it over to here, and then I'm going to take this guy right here, and I'm going to rotate it around. Rotate it around like this. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to reflect it. I'm going to reflect it horizontally up. Okay, see how I did that? And I'm going to hit OK. And now I have a piece of art replacing your piece of art that is as clean as my piece of art over here. Now look at the difference between the one that I just brought in there and yours. Now the important thing for you to understand is this is a bitmap. And the reason I'm doing this is because the technique that I'm going to show you as to how to render the box, it needs for me to have a bitmap, a vector in order to do that. So this piece of art isn't going to work, but this piece of art now is going to work. And not only is it going to work, but see, look at, compare the two. What looks better? Visually, this looks so much better than this, okay? So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to go View, Fit, Artboard, and Window. And I'm going to actually zoom in on this. Let's zoom in on this. And what I'm going to do is, oh, and by the way, I just want to show you something. All right, if you take a look, let me do this. Edit. Let me get this guy here. Let me get this one. Edit Copy. All right, and let's go Edit Paste. All right, now I want to show you something. I'm going to bring this up here, and then I'm going to zoom in. Because one of the things that I did was I took your piece of art and I turned it into a vector, piece of vector art. You see how clean mine is? Look at how clean and beautiful mine is. Look at yours. You see, that is a piece of vector art. So is mine. But look at the difference. Mine looks so much better than yours. And the reason that is because it's a better piece of art. Not this. This was a very low quality piece of art. This was a better piece of art, so the art looks better. So I'm going to delete this, okay? And I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this in its place. Let's go View, Fit, Artboard, and Window. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to come in here and I'm going to rotate it just like I did, okay? Not rotate it, but reflect it horizontally and hit OK. And now watch when I deselect. There it is. They're both facing into each other in the same way as yours is, all right? Now, all I want to do with these is select the two of them, okay, and go to the Align panel, and I want to align them horizontally center. And you see that they shift very tiny bit. So now instead of having art that isn't really very good, I have art that's actually pretty good, all right? So now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of this piece of art, and I'm going to get rid of this piece of art. And also the other thing I want to point out is this piece of art looks very much like this piece of art. So now the artwork is beginning to coordinate much better as well. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to select this, and I'm going to go Edit Copy, Edit Paste in Place. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over onto the other side panel. And what I want to do is I want to reflect it. I'll show you. I want to reflect it vertically like that. And then I'm going to hit OK. And now I have them reflected and they're in the proper position for the other panel. So now I have all of my artwork in there, and I'm just going to come back here for 1 second because I want you to see this. Very important. Look at how beautiful that piece of art is, and look at how beautiful that piece of art is. They go together beautifully. This makes your whole presentation look so much better than what you had. Number one. Number two, these are pieces of vector art. I am going to be able to use this art to make my box mock-up later on when I get to it. So again, it's absolutely essential that you understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not wasting your time. I'm doing this because, number one, I can make your work look a ton better by showing you the techniques that I'm showing you, number one. And number two, the artwork now is no longer a bitmap. That's a bitmap. That's a bitmap. This will not work for my mock-up, but this will, this will, this will. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to show you how to convert this. So let me come up, let me go get this on screen. So I have the same situation here. I have a bitmap. This is a bitmap, right? And so is this. Now what I want to do is I want to turn this into a piece of vector art as well. And the reason I want to do this is because I'm going to mock up a box. And I know for a fact that I need to mock up a box, I need to make things vector. Okay, now this is vector. You see how it's vector? And this is vector, so I have no trouble with this. This is a bitmap. So I'm going to go to the Object menu once again, and I'm going to go to Image Trace because I'm going to trace this bitmap, and I'm going to turn it into a piece of vector work. So there, I do that, and let's open up this panel again. Now the problem is that this is black and white. I don't want black and white. I want color. Now give it a second because it'll process the color. And it's going to process it out to 30 colors, which is, I don't need 30 colors. I only need 2 colors. So let's let it do its thing. There. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change 30 to 2. Look, it's only black and it's orange. So I'm going to change it to 2. Okay? And then I'm going to click here, all right? And it'll process it and make it 2 colors. Give it a second. And it just made it 2 colors. And there it is. And now I'm going to go to the Object menu. Object. Oops, it's frozen. Come on, Object, let's go. Oh, boy. What's going on now? Oh, something. Let's see. gotta bear with me. This thing seems to be frozen up a little bit. I don't know exactly why, but it's frozen up a tiny bit. Yeah, let's see if I got it now. Object, here we go. Object, image trace, expand. Boom. Now, again, see what happened. This turned into a piece of vector art. It's very important that you understand this. Look at the difference. There is a piece, there is a bitmap. That's a bitmap. A bitmap will look like this. It will have an outline around the edge of the bitmap area. This is a piece of vector art. You'll see all the separate different areas rendered. So it is a piece of vector art. There's a major difference between the two. And when we're working with this kind of project, you need to have vector art. So I'm doing this for a reason. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to delete this. Then I'm going to do this. I'm going to edit, copy, edit, paste in place. And then I'm going to hold down the shift key and I'm going to right arrow it over until it's on the other side panel in the proper position, which would be right about like that. That's probably pretty good. And I'm going to go to my reflect panel and let's see how I reflected it. Nope, I reflected it the wrong way. I want it reflected horizontally. Let's see. Let's see. Hit OK. And now let me go reflect it vertically. Let me see, vertical, horizontal. There we go. And hit OK. All right, so now I've reflected it both ways. And I have this thing facing the proper way. Let's go view, fit, artboard, and window. And now, if you take a look at this, this looks 100% better. It really does. And again, just so that you understand, the major reason that I'm doing this is because I wanted to turn this into a piece of vector art. I wanted to turn this into a piece of vector art. This should be a piece of vector art. There should be no vector art or raster art or bitmaps. There should be no bitmaps on any of these panels in the end. And the reason that is because I'm going to make a box. I'm going to make a mock-up of a box. And in order to do that, I have to create some symbols. We're not going to do that right now. I may do that later on. But right now, I just want you to understand we shouldn't have any bitmaps. And what you should do, and that's why I went to the trouble of putting these links in here for you, so that you could literally go in and find yourself some really nice graphics. And again, go to the image size, okay, and make sure that you go to the size and choose larger than 1024 by 728. You want big images, and then you can come in here and you can grab any of these images that you want, and you can go in and you can modify the images for your package just like I did. I'm not doing this for myself. I know all this stuff. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this because I'm trying to show you how to work in this program. I'm trying to show you how to make your work look phenomenal. I'm also trying to help you to get into a position where you can get some work. The nicer your work looks, the more professional it looks, the greater your chance is going to be to become a graphic designer, okay? So I just want you to keep that in mind. All right, now, this is ready to go, all right? All I need to do now is I need to create the panels that I'm going to make my mock-up with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move on to the second part of this assignment. This box is essentially finished, okay? If your graphics come out looking like mine, if you do what I do here, and again, go back to my layout, and remember that I have my graphics and my background, and I have my folds, my bleed, and my die line, okay? Those three have to be there, okay? Plus, for the mock-up, for the second part of the assignment, you have to have your graphics and you have to have your background. So you need all of this in order to have this project correct, okay? Moving into week 3, you have to finish this box. So that box is what it will look like finished. The second part of this is to create a label, a label for a bottle of chili. So let me go. Here's my there's my pals. I'm going to close this because I'm done with it. All right. I hope you understand what we're doing with this. I'm going to hit save, no, and get rid of it. All right. So Wild Bill label. There's my label. There is my label right there. That is the label that I originally created, but I'm going to be working on your label. Okay, so that's the label that I was working on. I am going to build a label for you for this using your elements. And here's what I want to show you. This is my hot sauce bottle. This is the hot sauce bottle that I created. At the end of the day today, I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to show you how to render a bottle. You're going to love this. Effect 3D, and I'm going to revolve it. And I'm going to preview it. And there it is. I'm going to hit OK. And there is a bottle, 3D revolved bottle. I am going to show you how to do this. You're going to really love this. This is absolutely cool. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go edit undo. And I'm going to get rid. Oh, and also next week, I'm going to show you how to make this. I'm going to regurgitate how to do this thing. And in the end, you're going to make a mock-up that looks like this. This is what you're going to make. Your final mock-up is going to look like this. So I'm going to show you how to do this. And I'm going to do it with the one that you're working on, okay? So let's go back to this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my label. Now, what I want to do is I want to take the information that appears on the front and the back panel, and I want to distribute it to my label. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select this, and I'm going to go to the scale tool, all right? And I'm going to set this to 100%. 100%, okay? And I'm going to preview it. Now, what I want to do is I want to establish the center of my label. So I'm going to divide this into 3 separate sections, okay? I'm going to come here, and I'm going to choose non-uniform, and I'm going to go horizontal, and I'm going to set it to 33.33, which is 1/3 of the width. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit copy. Okay, and now look, this is what I end up with. I end up with my box. Oh, and by the way, just so that you know, the shape that I got here came from my hot sauce bottle. Where is it? My label. There's my label, okay? It came from this size, and this size came from me going to an actual bottle of hot sauce that I had in my refrigerator, and I measured the label off of that hot sauce bottle. So I kind of got an idea of how tall it was and how wide it was. Okay, that's basically how I did it. And that's how I recommend that you did it. You do it. Okay, so what I'm trying to do though is I'm trying to establish a center point so I can come in here and I can get my elements to go on my label. So the first thing I want to do is I want to select this background area, and I want to apply the color to it. So I'm going to click on this to apply that color. Now, don't worry about this thing here because we're going to get rid of this in the end. This is just a guide, but this is the color, and I'm going to actually perfect. I don't even have the stroke on it. So I have this thing set to the proper color. Now I'm going to come in here, and you see I have some colors in here, so I'm going to leave that alone, and I have my layers in here. So I'm going to put this as the background. This area is going to be the background. I'm going to bring that down to the background layer. It's actually locked. I'll unlock it. Bring that down to the background. So now that's on the background layer, okay, with this other background stuff. And this guy here is on the graphics layer. I'm going to lock the background layer, and I'm going to be working on the graphics layer. The graphics layer is unlocked. The background layer is locked, so I can't select any part of the background stuff, okay? And all the others are locked as well, and I'm going to hide the bleed because I don't need to see the bleed. And I can't really get any of those in the way. So I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to go Object Lock Selection, all right? And I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to start off by grabbing this stuff right here, and I'm going to go Edit Copy, and then Edit Paste. Boom. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my arrow key. I'm holding the Shift key down, and I'm bringing my arrow key over here, and I'm placing it basically in the middle right like that. And then I'm going to bring it down, bring this down, okay? And I'm going to have to make some adjustments on this because, as you can see, the label is slightly different than the actual. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Serrano, and I'm going to move the Serrano down, move that Serrano down to about there. Don't worry about this overlapping. I'm going to make some adjustments to this. I'm on the graphics layer, so I'm going to hide this. So I'm going to adjust these graphics on the front. Now, I got the Serrano in position. I'm going to take him, and I'm going to move him down to clear the Serrano, about like that's good. Get the bill, and bring the bill down, maybe like that. That's probably pretty good like that. And then I'm just going to move down a little bit, and I'm going to take the recipes, and I'm going to move the recipes up a little bit. And actually, I think we're in pretty good shape. This guy's going to come up a little bit, okay, up a little bit like that. And then I'm going to bring this up a little bit. Now, a couple of things that I noticed right away, and that is that since this is going to be a wrapping label, I could probably make some of these elements a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. I'm going to select him. I'm going to select this text. I'm going to select the logo. And I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to select, I'm holding the shift key down, and I'm selecting the Serrano. I'm going to come over here to the scale tool. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose uniform. And actually, I have to let this happen because it's distorting it, and I didn't mean for this to happen. Bad module info. Bad, what? Oh, crap, don't tell me. Oh. Great. So it crashed my computer. That's just wonderful. All right, let's get it open and let's come back in and let's get this thing fixed. Unbelievable. These things do happen. So unfortunately, I don't know how much I lost. I probably lost some of this work, so I'm going to have to probably come back in and recreate a little bit of it. But unfortunately, these things do happen, and you're going to have to learn to deal with it. So let's see what happens. Let's come back in here and let's see what kind of headaches we got. This will take a minute to open up. Okay, here comes Illustrator back. And let's see what we get. Let's see what kind of headaches we've encountered here. I think we probably lost some stuff, which is going to be very unfortunate, but I'll deal with it. Okay, so let's go File, Open. Let's see whether we File, Open. And let's go to Monday night, Tuesday night. I think it's this one, die line. Let's see if this is it. Come on. Let's see what kind of damage was done here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, so that's not it. Let me go File, Open Recent Files, Wild Bill Logo, die line, Y box, die line, Bill. Hey, it's gone all together. What happened? Hold on. Die line, blind box, week 2. Oh no, okay, desktop. I think I know what the problem is. We're in the wrong folder. So let's go in here and let's see. Bill, I think this is it. That's it right there. Let's see. Ignore. Okay, so there we go. So we've lost everything basically. Okay, so, oh my God, we totally lost everything. All right, so you know what? So, all right, so anyway, this is all gone. This has all been done for now. I'll fix this for next week. The important thing is we're moving on to this. Okay, so the first thing is to come in here and put the color back into it. Okay, and then I'm going to go edit copy, edit paste in place, and then I'm going to scale it down. Uniform, I'm going to make it 33, no, non-uniform, I'm sorry, non-uniform horizontal, 33.33, 33.33, and I'm going to hit OK. And oops, oh, come on, Jesus, this is unbelievable. Object, let's go. Oh. What did I do wrong here? Non-uniform. There we go. Okay. With horizontal 33. 0.33, hit OK. There, okay. So now I have my, and I'm going to make it white and black so that you can see the difference. Okay, so again, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to select those graphic elements, edit copy, edit paste. There we are. Let's bring them in here. And I'm going to have to adjust these again. Okay, because again, I lost all this stuff when the computer program crashed. First of all, I'm going to go File, Save. So if it crashes again, I won't have the same problem. Okay, and now I'm going to start moving these things again. Let me move the Serrano down a little bit. That's too much. Probably about there is good. Let me move him down a little bit, like that. Let's move this up. No, that's actually pretty good. Let me move this up a little bit, like that. There we go. Oh, man. Okay, there we go. Move this up a little bit. There we go. And let's move this up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so now we have all of our elements. Let's take this and this and this and this. And let's bring them down just a little bit like that. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do, let's go File, Save, because again, now I'm paranoid. Save. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this guy, hold down the Shift key, select this guy, and this guy, and this guy. And then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to scale this thing. This is where I ran into problems before. Let's see if I run into the problems again. I may. Looks like I might. There we go. And what I'm going to do is it's non-uniform, 33, and let me hit OK. Actually, I want it to be, no, 130. No, I want it to be 110, actually, horizontal and vertical. And you know what? I'm wrong. I want this to be uniform, and I want this to be 110. That's what it is, 110. And let me hit OK. There. Okay, so I made it a little bit bigger, and I probably could do it again. 110 again, so 120 actually. That might be too big, but at any rate, let me just see. Let me see if it is. All right, so I'm going to take the Serrano now, and I'm going to move the Serrano down. And actually, I don't think it'll be too bad. I think it'll be fine. Okay, and I'm going to move this guy down a little bit, like that. Maybe too much. That's probably good. And this is going to, that's down a little bit. That's good. This thing here will probably go down a little bit like that. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to move this up like this. Okay, just like that. Bring it up a little bit. This can come down just a little bit like that. Okay, it's still falling. The point is, it's still falling within the center section of my label. That's the important thing. I'm moving this down just a little bit like that. Okay, and then I can also bring the Serrano down just a tiny bit like that. Okay, so let's go File, Save, so I don't have any further problems. All right, now let me explain what's going on here. I've created my front panel of my bottle label. All right, now there's going to be stuff that comes over here and stuff that comes over here, because this is going to wrap all the way around the bottle. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do now is I can get rid of this thing because I don't need it anymore. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it there, but I'm going to take the fill away, and I'm going to take the stroke away, and I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so the reason I'm going to leave it is because I can come back now and I can look at it if I need to. Or better yet, you know what? Instead of doing this, I can actually make a couple of guides. I'm going to bring a guide out, and I'm going to put a guide right there. Okay, let me go to the View menu and go to Guides, and let me show the guides. There's one guide. And let me come over here, and let me bring a guide out like that, and there's my other guide, just like that. Now what I can do is I can get rid of that frame. Okay, so now I have my guides out there. You can see, and this looks pretty good. You can see what the center of my bottle graphics are going to look like. This I may actually make a little bit smaller. I don't know exactly what size I've got that set to. Let's see what size this is. This is set to 11. Let's make it 11 point, and let's make this 9 point. 9 point. There we go. And now that way it's a little bit smaller. This thing here is what size? And that's 10 point. That's probably okay. All right, and let's see what I can do with this. This thing here, I can maybe move it up a little tiny bit. And then this, I can maybe move this up a little tiny bit, like that. There we go. And that looks actually pretty good. So what I'm doing basically is, let me go File, Save. Okay, what I'm doing basically is I'm preparing my label that I'm going to use for my little bottle of hot sauce. Okay, so this is the front of my label, and it includes your logo, this graphic, which doesn't actually have to even be here, but it's something that I chose to be here because I think it's cute. This element here, which is the wild bill, and actually if I wanted to, I could take this and I could click on this element. Let me get my group selection tool. I'll show you another little trick. I can get my group selection tool. With my group selection tool, I can click on this, hold the Shift key down and click on this, and I can click, actually, let me see if I can Control Z. Let me go Object, Lock. Oh, wait a minute. Is that on the, it's on the graphics layer? I want that to be on the background layer. So this thing here, I'm going to select it and put it on the background layer and then lock it. There we go. All right, so now what I can do is I can take this thing and I can select those things, right, like that, and I can actually move them up. Okay, and by moving them up, Control Z, I see I missed something. I can already see I missed something. There we go. Let me try it again. All right, so let me lock that layer. Let me try it one more time because it looks like I didn't get everything selected. Let me just see. I can get this whole thing selected carefully. Boom. I think I got it that time. Yeah, I did. I can move this up, and that actually helps a little bit. Okay? There you go. So now this helps a little bit, and this thing has a little bit better spacing. I can move this down just a little bit. And personally, I think this is now spaced a little bit better. The bottom line is what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the front surface of my label built. And these are the elements that I think probably are best put on the front of the label. Now, let me go back to let me go File, Open, and let me see if I can find my original label. My label, let's see, where is it? My Wild Bill label, there we go. Okay, so let me see so I have my Nutritional Facts over here, and I have Distributed By over here. All right, so what I'm going to do is go back to this one, all right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to redistribute these elements right here. Now, since this bottle comes in a box like this, I really don't need this right here. I don't need the barcode. The nutritional facts are on the box, but I should probably put them on the layer as well. I need this information over here, all right? And I need the manufactured information and the ingredient information. I have two panels to put them on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this first. Let me get my regular selection tool. I'm going to select this first. I'm going to go Edit Copy, and then Edit Paste, okay? And I'm going to bring this over, and I'm going to put that over let me move it over to about here. I'm going to put it over here on my box, or my label, I'm sorry. Bring it to my label and move it in just a little bit, okay? I'm then going to come over here, and I probably could do this in one shot, but you know what? I got time. Let me actually do that. Let me grab that and that and that, and let me go Edit Copy, Edit Paste, boom. And now I'm going to bring these over here like this, and let's see if I can get them adjusted. Let me come over here, and let's see if I can adjust these so that they fit here. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to bring the manufactured up. Manufactured's going to go here. And what I'm doing is I'm actually hanging them over to the left a little bit. I'm trying to give myself as much clearance as I can on the front. All right, so now I got the ingredients. I'm going to bring the ingredients down and over. I'm going to bring this down like this, okay? And I got this here, and I got this here, and it's a little bit big. So let's take a look at this copy, and let's see what size this copy is, and let's see if I can do something with that copy. So this copy is 9 point. I really don't have very much. Maybe make it 8 point, okay? I really don't like it as 8 points, so I'm going to make it 9 point. Leave it at 9 point. I think what I might do, I might actually take this, and I may make that 90%. I'm just basically adjusting things. 90%. Oops. 90%, and hit OK. There, that's a little bit better, and that gives me more room. So what I can do is I can now move this down. All right, move that down, and now I got a little bit more room. I can leave this at 9 point, bring that down, and this will start to work now. And I can bring this down here and bring it down, and that's working. Okay, so you see what I've got basically is I've taken the copy. I've taken basically the copy that I have right there, and I've placed it on the left-hand side on the back. All right. Now, if I want, I can actually pick up this guy right here. All right. Let's go edit copy. And actually, this thing here has reverted back to being a bitmap. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to go to the object menu. I'm going to go to image trace, and I'm going to make. Let me fix this, because I'm going to go back and fix this whole thing up again for next week, because I want to show you how to make the package, how to make the box. All right, I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to come in here and change it from black and white to color. All right, and give it a second to process. And remember now, I had a crash. So what I'm going to do after I get this done, I'm going to save this, because you don't want to have this crash happen. I just lost all that work. All right, I'm going to change this from 30 colors to 2, just 2. And then I'm going to go to let it process. Give it a second. It'll convert that to 2 colors. And there we go. And I'm going to go Object, Image Trace, Expand, and boom, there's my 2 colors. Now, to be safe, I'm going to go File, Save. There. Okay, File, Save. Now, what I'm going to do is go Edit Copy. And then I'm going to come over here to my label. And I'm going to go Edit Paste. Boom. Oh, I didn't get the copy, did I? Let me try it again. For some reason, that didn't copy. Okay. Edit Copy. Now we do it. Edit Paste. There it is. Okay. And now let me bring it over here. And what I'll do is bring it over like this. And I'm going to... Let's see if I can just rotate this around. I think maybe I can. Yeah, there we go. I just rotate it. There, I rotated it around. There we go. So now that's rotated around. And there is my centerpiece of graphic. And I'm going to move this over. I'm trying to give myself as much clearance as I can in the middle of this thing. All right, because I want you to be able to see the center part of this. So this, I'm moving it over a little bit. Okay. And this here, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to select all of these things. Okay. And I'm going to go to the Align panel, go to my Align panel, and I'm going to align them. All right, so now they're all aligned. Now, one other thing that I could maybe do here is, what size is this down here? This is, I don't really need that to be very big, so let's go, that's 8 point. I can make that 7 point. There we go. And you know what? Edit, undo. I'm going to leave it alone. You know why? Because it's working. I don't have a problem with that. All right, so basically my label is nearly done, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go File, Open, and let's see if I can find my chili guy. Where's my, where are you? Wild Bill label, fix logo. Where are you? Hot sauce bottle. Where are you? Where am I in? Week 3. No, I'm back in week 3 again. That's not what I. Oh no, that is where I want to be. Yeah. So where's my? This is my hot sauce bottle. Let me just open that up and see. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. See, when this crashed, this whole thing kind of got messed up on me. There's that. All right, let me File, Open. Let me see, where are you? My hot sauce, background graphics, hot sauce bottle, final logo, fix logo, Wild Bill logo. Wow, this is nuts. Here we go, chili. There we go. That's one of the things I'm looking for. Okay, so there is my guy. All right, and I even lost unfortunately, I even lost this grouping on this guy. But this guy has basically been painted. So I'm just going to come back in here, select him again, and go Object Group, and then Edit Copy. And then I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to go Edit Paste. There he is. And I'm going to rotate him like that, holding the Shift key down, okay? And I'm going to scale this guy down a little bit. And make him, oh, I don't know, try 60%, see if that works. Preview. That's a little bit too small. Let's make it 75. Try that, 75. Let's try previewing that. Probably okay, we'll see. Let's see if that'll work. And then I'm going to take him and I'm going to move him here. And actually, that's pretty cool. I kind of like it overlapping that a little bit. So I'm going to leave that because that's pretty cool. I might even actually move it in a little bit more so I don't have him so close to that. That's kind of a cool look. I don't mind that a bit. So now I'm going to kick him around, and I'm going to go Edit Copy, Edit Paste in Place, okay? And then I'm going to reflect him. I'm going to reflect him horizontally and hit OK. And now I'm going to bring him down, and you're going to see how cool this looks. Bring him down to the bottom, right about there. There we go. He's probably in pretty good position right there. There we are. All right, that looks pretty great. And now I'm going to take this thing here, and I'm going to move this down just a little tiny bit to center it between the two. So now I have my label, File, Save. All right, and I'm going to go to the guides, go to the View menu, and go to Guides, and I'm going to hide the guides. Now, if you take a look, let's just stop right here and now, because basically we have our label for our bottle. The most important part of this is the center part, okay? And you can see I've put as much information on the front as I possibly can. The Serrano chili is at the top, your logo, and then it's going to be Wild Bill gourmet sauce. I've actually, you know, modified this so that it's repeated here big, because this is really, you know, you want visually to be able to see this. You see it here, but you really want to be able to see it here. Gourmet hot sauce. And then, of course, for great recipes, if I wanted to, you know, I could change the positioning on this. I could bring this down like this, okay, and I could bring these two guys up like this. See what I mean? So you could actually play around with the positioning of these elements, get the elements where you like them to be, okay, and that looks pretty good too. Let me move them down a little bit. That looks pretty good too. But the bottom line is you need all these elements. You need the spice. Spicy is good, but it's not enough. You need this little bit of copy here, the nutritional facts, the ingredients, manufactured by. All of these elements are necessary for your label. I'm going to actually see if I can move those over a little tiny bit, giving myself a little bit more play in the middle. Okay, so this right now is my label. I'm going to go File, Save, and I've created my label. So I have my box, and I have my label. I have 1 hour left. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you something that is absolutely cool, and that is how to render a 3D bottle. Because next week what we're going to do is we're going to render a 3D box, but you might want to render a 3D box and a 3D bottle as well. And the only reason that you might want to do that is because, number one, it's incredibly cool. That's the first thing. And the second thing is it really does make your work look incredibly professional. And that's really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show you things that will make your work look incredibly professional. Because the bottom line is that the best way to get a job is by, you know, doing work that's professional. So I'm going to take these three elements, right? One final thing, and that is to come in here to my Align panel, and I'm going to align them like that, okay? And now they're aligned. I'm going to make sure that these things are aligned, and they are. You can see they move ever so slightly, and I'll make sure that those things are aligned, and they were, okay? And then I'm just going to make sure that these elements here are far enough over that I have maximum room in the middle here for my center or front of my label. Okay, I think that's probably okay. I could possibly, I'm looking at the space in here. That looks all right. This actually looks like it could go over, but I think I'm pretty much where I want to be. I might take this and I might take that and I may move it over just a touch, just like that. And that probably looks good. There we go. So this is going to be on the side of the bottle. This is going to be on the front of the bottle, and this will wrap around towards the back of the bottle. And in the end, this is going to be a really good looking bottle. Let me go to the view menu and let's see what we got here. Artboard and Window. Let's, it looks like I got some duplicates here. Let me get rid of this stuff. Yeah, I just got some duplicate stuff here I got to get rid of. And down here, there we go. Okay, so I actually had some duplicates. So let me just quickly reiterate that for week 3, what I'm looking for you to submit to me is the 2 things that you see right here, which is a finished box. Let's go to my layers. Finished box, which will include, let's hide the graphics and the backgrounds, okay? The box itself is going to include the folds right there, okay? And the bleed, which I'm not showing in my mock-up, but they're there. And my die line, which is showing, okay? So you're going to be showing the die line and the folds. You're going to have a graphics on its own layer, and the graphics should be beneath the die line and the fold layer so that it will show the folds and the die line in front of it. And then your backgrounds are going to be on its layer beneath the graphics layer. And this final artwork is the piece that you have over here. That's your work. That's your original work over there that you submitted. Okay, so what I've done is I've shown you how to take your artwork, which is incomplete and not designed very well, and I've shown you how to make it right and make it look really good. And again, I have to go in and I have to fix this because I lost some of this. I will fix this for next week, okay? And then, of course, there's your label. And as I told you what I did for my label, let me go to my Wild Bill label. That's my Wild Bill label. That's what I did last time. And it's important for you to understand how I got my label size. Again, I went in, I found a bottle of hot sauce, which you probably have a bottle of hot sauce in your refrigerator. And what I did was I took my hot sauce that I had in my refrigerator and I measured the label. And I saw how deep it was, and I saw how far it wrapped around, and I calculated, or I actually measured the width and the height of the label, and I used that as the basis for my overall layout for my label. So that should be a fairly accurate representation. I'm going to go File, Save. And now I'm ready to actually create my bottle. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to go Object, Group, okay? And I'm going to go Edit, Copy. All right. And now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go File, Save, because I need to save this for later. And I'm going to close this. All right. And I'm going to close this because I'm done. Save changes, yes. And I'm going to actually even close that because I'm done. Save changes, no. Now I'm going to go File, Open, and I need to find my bottle. Let's see. Let's go to my hot sauce. Let's see, Wild Bill label, fix logo, hot sauce bottle. Is that it? Is it? Is it? Is it? And it's, well, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Let me try it again. File, Open. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see, is it? Nutritional Facts, fix logo, hot sauce bottle. I bet that's it. There it is. Okay. I'm going to go Edit, Paste. Paste. Boom. There. Oh, you know what? Darn it. Ah! File, Open. I forgot one thing. Let me find this. James, let's see. Assignment to James Bill. Where was it? It would be. Let's see, where is it? Is it this one? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I forgot one very important thing. I got to unlock the background. I need the background on this. So let me now go Object, Group, Edit, Copy. Now I got it. And let's go to the hot sauce bottle and let's go edit paste. Boom. There it is. Okay, so there's my label. I'm going to move my label over to here. Okay, for now. So I have my cap art and I have my art. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the sample, and for now I'm going to call this label, L-A-B-L-E, label. And I'm going to move that to the label layer, okay? And then I'm going to move it off the artboard, and I'm going to hide that layer. I need that later. Okay, so what I want to show you how to do here now, and this is something that I think you're going to find incredibly interesting. I'm going to be on my art layer for the time being. I'm going to lock the label layer, and I'm going to lock the cap layer. I'm going to be on my art layer first. What I'm going to show you how to do is I'm going to show you how to render this bottle in 3D and apply a label to it. This is cool. I love doing this. I think this is incredibly fun, and this is a valuable thing to learn how to do. So here's how we do this. I'm going to pick one of these bottles, and I'm going to come over here with a guide, and I'm going to place a guide essentially down the middle of that bottle right there. I think I'm going to go with this bottle right there. And it actually, let me go to the window or to the view menu and go to guides and unlock the guides, because I don't think I quite got that in the middle. Let me move it over just a bit. Let me move it over a little tiny bit. Right about there is probably good. I think I went too far with it. Right there is good. Now go to the view menu and go to guides and lock the guide. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to render this bottle in 3D. This is nuts, and it is not difficult to do. You can do this, and I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to use a basic shape tool and the pen tool. So the simplest way to do this is to get the rectangle tool. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to drag a rectangle that fits right about like that. Okay? And now I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to zoom in on it. And actually, let's go edit undo, because I think I used the wrong tool. Let me start off by making this default black and white, and let me remove that fill and just make it black. This is the tool that I want. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag to make that rounded rectangle just like that. Okay. Now, if I get the direct selection tool, you know what? Control Z. It's not doing it. Let me go to this tool, see if it's this one. Let's see if I get it. There. Oh, wow. Where are you? What's happening here? Why are you doing this? Let me see. I'm on the art layer. Yeah, cap art. Okay, let's go to cap art. Now I'm on the art layer. I'm right. That's where I want to be. So for some strange reason, I'm not getting my... All right, let's try it one more time. Rounded rectangle tool. And let's go to my art layer. Let's try it one more time. See why this is happening. Come over here and drag this out to get my rectangular shape. Okay, and if I get my direct selection tool, there. Okay, there it is. Okay, so the direct selection tool enables me to click on these corners, okay, and I'm holding the shift key down, click on that corner, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten that corner out, okay, and I'm going to do the same thing on this corner right here, hold the shift key down and click on that, and I'm going to straighten that corner out. And I'm going to come up here and click on this one, hold down the shift key, click on that one, and I'm going to make that a little tiny bit rounder, okay? I'm going to do the same thing here, click on this one, hold the shift key down, and I'm going to make that one a little bit rounder as well. Just a tiny bit. All right, now if I look at this, let me just drag this out of the way here and you can see what it looks like. I end up with a cap that looks like that, okay? So really, it's just a matter of getting the rounded rectangle tool and dragging out a cap and using the direct selection tool, okay? The direct selection tool, and then click, and you see you can round these things off, right, like that. Or you can click with the direct selection tool on one corner alone, like this, okay? And you got to click 2 points, all right? And then you can round this thing, see, which I don't want to do. So anyway, there's my cap. I've made my cap, all right? So now the next thing I want to do is I want to build my bottle. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to get my my oval tool, my ellipse tool. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to drag and make an ellipse just like this. Okay, an ellipse just about like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the direct selection tool, and I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to actually, let's see if I can bring this up a little bit. I'll bring that up just a tiny bit, and let's see if I can kind of straighten this out a little bit. I'm bringing this in to straighten it out like that, and I'm going to bring this in. Come on. I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to straighten that out as well. Okay, if I can get it to straighten out really good. There we go. Well, that's actually, let me do this. Let me try the Convert Anchor Point tool. Come in here and get the Convert Anchor Point tool. There. Okay, so I've actually done it. I've converted that anchor point. There we go. And I'm going to move it up a little tiny bit. There we go. All right, so now carefully look at the shape. I'm going to show you what the shape looks like. So there's the shape. Now what I'm going to do is get the direct selection tool, and I'm going to actually click here, and I'm going to raise this a little tiny bit, just like that. And I don't even have to worry about this size. I'm mostly concerned with this side because I'm going to end up cutting this in half just to make this little lip. Okay, so I've made a shape that looks something like this. I probably should take that anchor point and move it down. There you go. That actually looks good. Now here's what I want you to pay attention to. I'm asking you to pay attention to that shape right there. This is going to go away shortly. Okay, so I got that shape right there. All right, that's what I'm looking for. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go View, Zoom Out, and I'm going to build the bottle. All right, I'm going to build the bottle. I'm going to come in here with my pen tool. I'm going to start right here, click, and then I'm going to come down to here, and I'm just going to hit click again. And now I'm going to move this thing down, and I'm going to come around to the shoulder area here, click and drag, and I'm creating a curved line. Click and drag until I get that lined up with the shoulder, something like that. All right? And you have to play with this a little bit. See if I can get this thing to, there we go. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. And I actually am off a little tiny bit, so, but that'll work right there. See how I got that line? Now I'm going to click here again. I'm going to click on that anchor point. See the little handle that's out? I'm going to click and I'm going to retract that handle. Then I'm going to come over to this area here, right on the curve, click, and I'm going to drag straight down to create that other area of the shoulder, like that, okay? Now this is probably going to have to be adjusted, but it's close. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to click again and retract that, and I'm going to zoom down, and I'm going to go way down to here, straight, and click. And then I'm going to come over here to right around this curve, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag to create a curved line segment, just like that. And then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to kind of come straight across. It doesn't really matter. I'll just come kind of straight across, and I'm going to click, and then I'm going to go all the way up to the top. I can't even actually do this. So this is in the way. Let me see if I can go up to the top. There we go. I'm going to go all the way up to the top, right here. Okay, right up to where I started, like about there. Let me see, holding the shift key down, there we go, and click, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click. All right, so now I can come in here and I'm going to go View, Fit Artboard and Window, and let's take a look at what I got. So I'm going to go to my Layers panel, and I'm going to hide my sample. All right, and this is what I got. Let me show you. I have 3 shapes. I got that shape right there. And I have that shape right there, and I have that shape right there, okay? And I have this guide, which is telling me where the centerpiece is. So what I want to do, first of all, is I want to turn these 2 shapes, I want to turn this shape here and this shape here into one piece. So I'm going to select both of them, and I'm going to go to the Pathfinder panel. Where are you? My Pathfinder, is it away? I guess it is. Window, Pathfinder. There we go, Pathfinder. And I'm going to combine them. Okay, now check it out. This is the important thing for you to understand. I now have a shape. I now have a shape that looks like that. That's what I'm going for. I also have this over here, which I don't want. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to get my my knife tool. Come in here and get my scissors tool. Let's see, where are you? It's where are the scissors? Oh, here. I'm sorry. It's with the eraser tool. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on that anchor point right there. All right, and then I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and I'm going to click on that anchor point right there. Now, hopefully, what I've done is I've created two separate pieces. And if I click on that, I have. Go to the View menu, to the Artboard and Window, and there you have it. Look at that, two separate pieces, okay? And that I'm going to throw away because I just don't want it. And then this cap, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the cap, all right? And I'm going to do the same thing to the cap. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to get my scissors tool, and right on this guide, right on the guide, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click to cut that shape. And then I'm going to come up to the top and I'm going to click to cut that shape. And now watch, when I click on this, I can delete that and I have a half of a cap. So the whole idea here is that what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create an edge of a cap and an edge of a bottle. Okay? Now, let's just quickly take a look. See, so this looks a little bit sloppy to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the direct selection tool and I'm going to click on, let's see, I might actually try the smooth tool. Let me see if I can find the smooth tool. Let's see, where are you? The smooth tool is, where was it? I'm trying to remember where the smooth tool was, actually. I think it's here, right? No, it's not. Where was the smooth tool? Here we go. It's underneath the sharpening tool. Let's try the smooth tool. I'm just going to come down here and I'm going to drag around this area to see if I can get that smooth tool. I think I got to select it first. Select it. There we go. Now let me try with the smooth tool and see if I can smooth this out a little bit. There, actually that did it. That smoothed it. Let me try this area here too. That's perfect. I'm smoothing it. There. Okay, that looks great. I might want to smooth it right there. There we go. I think that's good. Okay, so let me go view, zoom out. Now the point of all of this is that, view, zoom out, what I'm doing is I'm creating what's known as a profile. The profile is for the cap and for the bottle itself. Now, the cap is going to be black, so I already have the stroke set to black on this, but the bottle itself is going to be a very light color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on the stroke and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make this go to a blue color. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to choose a very light bluish color. I want it to be a little bit on the bluish side. I'm going to hit OK. So now look at what I got. I just want you to see this. I got a blue line right here, a profile, and I got a black line right there, a profile. That's my cap. That's my bottle. Now, what I want to do is I want to make sure that the cap is in front of the bottle. So I'm going to go Edit Cut, and then I'm going to select the bottle, and I'm going to go Edit Paste in front, and now that has been pasted in front. Now, what I want to show you, this is what's really cool. Let me go to the View menu, and let me go to Guides, and let me hide the guide. Now, what I want to show you is this. I'm going to show you how to revolve this into a bottle. Oh, one thing I should really do, actually, I should really do this. I should take this, and I should go Edit Copy, Edit Paste in Place. And then what I should do is I should take my right arrow and move it over just twice. Maybe twice, maybe 3 times. Twice is probably good. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to come in here. Let me go to my guides again, and let me bring a guide back out because I need to have a guide to do this. Okay, so let me go to the View menu, and let me go to Guides, and let me show the guides. There we go. Okay, so what I need to do is this. Watch. first thing I need to do is this. I need to zoom in on this a little bit. And I think I'm probably a little bit far on this. I should move it over. There we go. That's probably a little bit better. That's probably a little bit better. Yes, that's actually good. Okay, now what I need to do here is I need to get the direct selection tool, and I'm going to click on that one little anchor point right there, hold down the shift key and click on that one little anchor point right there, and I'm just going to up arrow it one time. Okay, and then I'm going to select this anchor point right here, and I'm going to right arrow it one time as well. Now what I'm doing is I'm creating a third line, which is going to be my inside line. My hot sauce is what it's going to be. Now let me go to the top. Let me go to the top, and let me come to right here, and let me get my scissors tool, and let me come, oh, I don't know, maybe right here is good. Let me click on that, okay? And now I've cut that, and let me take this part, the top part, okay, and let me delete it. And now let me select this part, and let me make that red, okay, because this is going to be my hot sauce. Let me come down here, and let me make that like a dark red color. It's going to be a hot sauce color, so probably something like that's probably pretty good. Hit OK. Now that line is red. Now what I need to do is I need to get my pen tool again, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to click on that anchor point on that little red line, and I'm going to hold the shift key down, and I'm going to come over to the guide and click. And now I have my three sections. This is my bottle line, this is my cap line, and this is my content line, which is basically my hot sauce. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to go edit, cut, and I'm going to click on this and go edit, paste in front, and then I'm going to click on this and go edit, cut, and then I'm going to select both of these and go edit, paste in front, and I'm just making sure that I get these things where I want them. Now I'm going to go to the view menu. Let's fit this in window, and I'll show you how this works. Let me go to the view menu, and let me go to guides, and let me hide the guides. Okay, so now I have my three elements right there. I'm going to go to the effect menu. I'm going to go, let me actually zoom in on this so that you can see it better. It's very cool actually when you see this happen. Right, get this, there we go. Okay, let me go to the effect menu, and let's go to 3D, and let's go revolve. Now watch this. I'm going to hit preview, and voila, I have, and hit OK, and I have instant bottle. Now watch this. I'm going to move this down so that it actually goes on the top like that. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to go to window, transparency. Wait till you see this. This is cool. And I'm going to change this from normal to overlay. There, look at that. Isn't that nuts? I could actually try, I don't know whether overlay is the best way to go. I could play around with these settings a little bit. Ah, that looks even better. Soft light, let's try hard light. I like the soft light better. I think the soft light's good. Soft light. There, look at that. There is my hot sauce bottle. Now, there's a couple of things that I can do with this. And I think actually, let me see, hot sauce bottle. I think I lost it actually. One of the things that I wanted to do with this is I wanted to make an area for my cap, and I wanted to make a label for this. So I'm going to go edit, undo blending mode, and edit, undo blending mode, and undo again, and undo, and undo, and undo, undo, and bring this thing back to, this is probably not the right way to do this, but let me get this thing done. You know what? The heck with it. This is crazy. Let me just select it all, and let me go to my appearance panel, and let me just undo it from the appearance panel. Let me remove the 3D revolve. Let's get rid of it altogether. Come on, you. Delete. There we go. Okay. Now, this guy here is going to come down. All right, so what I wanted to do was I wanted to select this thing again, all right? And I wanted to go edit copy. Let's go edit copy. Where are you? Edit copy. Edit paste in place. And I'm going to actually move this thing over a little bit so that you can see what I'm about to do here. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to cut this thing, all right? I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut this thing right about there, okay? And I'm going to cut this thing also right about there, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to delete this, all right? So now what I have basically is I have another shape right here, which is what I'm going to use, and this is going to be in the front of everything. So I'm going to bring that in, and I'm going to go Object, Arrange, Bring to Front, okay? And now I'm going to bring my guides back, go to the View menu, go to Guides, and Show Guides. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully get my pen tool, and I'm going to click on that point, hold the Shift key down, and come over to this line, and double-click that. Actually, there we go. Just single-click it. And then I'm going to come down to the bottom one right here with the pen tool. Click down on the bottom one, make sure I get the right one, and hold the Shift key down and come over here and click that, okay? And then I'm going to select the whole thing, and instead of making that blue, I'm going to make it pure white, all right, so I can see the difference. Okay, now, File, Save. So what I have now is I have a cap, I have a bottle, I have contents, and I have this shape here, if I can select it somewhere. There it is. There's the shape, which is going to be a label. It's going to be what I use to put the label on. So now let me show you what this thing is going to render like. So I select all of these things. I'm going to go to the Effect menu, and I'm going to go to 3D, and let's go Revolve. Okay, and I'm going to preview it so that you can see what this looks like. There it is. Hit OK. Now let's just deselect it so that you can see what's going on. So what I'm going to end up doing with this is eventually, after I get this all done, and I'm going to start off by bringing this cap down. This cap's got to come down to about right there. Okay, so now it's fitting. I'm going to go File, Save. All right, so there's my bottle. Let me go to the View menu, and let's go Guides, and let's hide the guides. Now, this one here is going to be, I'm going to take that, and I'm going to make that, let's go to the window, and let's go to Transparency. And remember what I did, I made this soft light, I believe. Yes, soft light, which is perfect. And this guy here is going to, in the end, be what I put my label on. All right, so remember, I have my label in here. I just want to show you how this works. I have my label in here, and I'm going to do this whole thing again next week. So you're going to see me do this one more time. So you'll have plenty of an opportunity to do that. I still have a little bit of time here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into my symbols, okay? And as you can see, I don't have any symbols in here. Now, over here somewhere, I think, if I'm not mistaken, oh, it looks like it's gone. I think I might have lost it when this thing crashed. I don't see my, let me see. Is it possibly on the label? Yeah, there's the label. Okay, so it's actually here. There's my label. There's my label, and let me unlock the label. Okay, now I'm going to select this label. It's all grouped. Now, this is the important thing for you to understand. One of the reasons that I told you that I wanted all these elements to be vector elements is because in order for me to put a label on this shape, I have to create a symbol, and I have to apply the symbol to the shape. Now, I'm going to create the symbol by dragging this into the symbols panel. If all of these are vector shapes, which they all are, I will have no trouble dragging this in and making a symbol. Watch when I do that. I click and I drag it and I drop it right into the symbols panel like that. I get the symbols option dialog box. and I can name the symbol. I'm going to call this label, L-A-B-L-E. It can be either a movie clip or a graphic. I'm going to call it a graphic because this is not going to be going into Flash or what's the other one? The other one is, I can't think, Animate. Okay, Animate. So this is not going to be a graphic that's going into Animate. So that would be a movie clip. It's going to be just a graphic. I'm going to hit OK. And below, live paint object. Oh, hit OK. There we go. Okay, so now I have my symbol in there. Now here's the important thing. Can you see that this no longer has all of my, watch, I'm going to go Edit Undo. There. Okay, there's no symbol, but look, when you select this thing, can you see all of the highlighting? Watch what happens when I turn this into a symbol. I'm going to drag it in, drop it in, new symbol. I'm going to call it label, L-A-B-L-E. I'm going to change it from a movie clip to a graphic. I hit OK. It's going to tell me that it wants to expand the live paint object. Basically, when I painted this guy, I used live paint. So it's telling me it must expand that before it'll work, which is no big deal. You just hit OK and it'll do it. Now look, there it is. Can you see all of my little highlighting goes away, and in the middle of it, you'll see that there's basically this little plus sign right there. That's telling you that this is no longer a graphic, but an instance. That graphic is in the symbols panel. This is an instance of it. I'm going to delete it, okay? I'm going to click on it and delete it. Now I'm going to select this guy right there, and I'm going to come into my my appearance panel, and I'm going to click on 3D Revolve, and it's going to, I'm going to preview it, okay? And then I'm going to go to Map Art. I'm going to go to Map Art. And here's what I want you to look at. Let me hit cancel because I want to get this over here so you can see it. Let me hit cancel. Let me get this over here so that you can see it. Pay attention to that area right there. So what I'm going to do is, and I don't know how well this is going to work because I see some, those are just those anchor points. I think it'll be fine. Well, no, it won't be fine actually. Boy, let me see if I can. Yeah, this is not going to work really well. Let me just close this out for a minute, and let me click on this, and let me go to, I wonder if I can remove them. Let me try to remove them. Let's see what happens if I do that. Delete anchor point. There we go. Let me see what happens if I delete that anchor point. Okay, no problem. Delete that anchor point. No problem. Delete this anchor point. No problem. Delete that, no problem, and delete that, no problem. Come on, let me see if I can get in there and see what that is. Maybe there's no anchor point there. That's what I think it is. Okay, I think that actually worked. I think actually I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. I think I'm good. Okay, yeah, and let me deselect it. Let's see. I'm good. That worked. I'm great. Okay, let's go to the View menu. Let's fit Artboard and Window. Okay, so I'm selecting this. If there are extra anchor points, you delete them. That's what I did. All right, so I'm going to come in here to my appearance, go to 3D Revolve, and then I'm going to go to Map Art. And what happens is basically, can you see, I should, again, zoom in on this so that you can see what's going on here. Let me zoom in again so that you can see this a little bit better. This is actually something I want you to see. All right, so there we go. All right, and I don't need this. Okay, so 3D Revolve, and there we go. Preview Map Art, okay. Now, as you can see, I'm getting this little symbol right here. And that symbol has a little red line that essentially coincides with that shape. This has got surfaces, and there appears like there are 8 surfaces here. So we're going to have to see what these 8 surfaces are. So there's one, that's the top surface. That's not what I want. I want that surface. I don't want that either. I want that surface, but I don't know whether that's the front or the back. So I'm going to try going through this, and I don't want that. I don't want that. Don't want that. I want the front. I think that's the front. When I get that surface, the front there, I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to apply the label to it. And let's see if it preview it. Hold on, it's rendering it. There it is. There's the label. So the label is now showing, but the label has to be scaled down to fit. And I'm going to just make this thing, I'm going to hold the shift key down. I'm going to make this thing fit by scaling it down. This will take a few moments to fool around with. And then I'm going to drag that down until it fits like that. Okay, so I'm fitting it to this. See it? It's starting to fit. And it looks like it's distorting on me. Let me try scaling. Well, I don't want to scale it to fit. I want it to get it down. There we go. And this thing's distorting. I don't know why it's doing that. Why it's distorting. I shouldn't be distorting. Being a real pain in the butt. Let me try making it a little bit smaller. I'll try making it a little bit smaller. And down a little bit. Yeah, see, it's giving me some real problems here. I don't know why it's doing this. It shouldn't be doing this, but it is. Yeah, it's all distorting. Let me scale the fit and see what happens. See what happens if I scale the fit it. If that helps. No, it doesn't. I'm wondering what the heck the story is with this thing. Shouldn't be doing this. Oh, this is really being a pain. Okay, so there we have it. And I think probably what I'm going to do, let's see if I can actually bring this down a little bit. Bring it down just a little tiny bit like that. Okay, and I'm going to maybe take it this way a little bit. Let's see if that'll help. And I think I have to make it a little bit smaller, actually. And yeah, a little bit more. Like about like that. Let's see if that works. Nope. Oh boy, that thing is really being a pain. Yeah, it's absolutely giving me trouble. And a little bit higher. This is actually giving me a lot of trouble today. I don't really know why it's doing this. And more, bring it up. And even more. Huh. Yeah, see, it's distorting like crazy up here. I'm not exactly sure why it's doing that. I'm going to see if I can maybe bring it in and see whether that'll help. It's really distorting quite crazy. Yeah, see, that is really distorting still. So I don't know exactly why this is doing this. It's very frustrating. It shouldn't be doing this. And actually, this thing should be coming all the way down to the bottom like that. I wonder if that's the problem. Let me see. Oh, I think there's probably still, there could be, let me hit cancel. There still could be, let me hit cancel. There still could be an anchor point down here. Let me see something. Let me see what we got here. That is there an anchor point there? There doesn't seem to be. That's the weird thing. There doesn't seem to be, there's no anchor point there. Yeah, I don't know. View, fit, artboard, and window. See that? There's no anchor point there. That's very strange. So anyway, I'm having a little bit of trouble. I'm going to do the best I can with this. Let me just get this thing placed. And let me try it one more time. I'll get it on as best I can for the time being. Preview it. And let's map the art. And let's bring it to surface 8. Because I think it's the 8 surface right there. See, and it is high right there. That's really strange. And I'm going to apply the label. And yeah, it's really unfortunate. Very frustrating that that's doing that. Anyway, so I'm going to get it on as best I can for the time being. Because I'm running out of time here. I just want you to see how this basically works. And then I'm just going to move this over until it gets more or less in the middle. Here we go. Keep it coming. Yeah, and unfortunately, I'm having a problem with the top of this thing. Just having a problem with the top of it. That's what the situation is. It's giving me trouble at the top. So I'm going to have to I'm just going to have to accept it this way. I went too far with that. Let me see. Like I'm going to have to accept that for the time being. What I may end up doing is I may end up removing some of this stuff down at the bottom in my sample and changing the size of it, changing the actual layout of it so that I can make this work. But this will give you an idea. This will give you an idea. Okay, so there, I'm going to hit OK for now and hit OK. Now I'm going to view this. Let's go to the View menu, and let's see. Fit Artboard and Window, and let me zoom in on the whole bottle. There we go. All right, now what I'm going to do here is, and again, I'm going to have to play around with this thing because it's not working. So what I probably will do is I probably will move this copy, this stuff, move it over to the side or the back, and then I'll move all this stuff down significantly, and that should fix that top. But I just want to show you how this works. So now I'm going to select this thing. I'm going to go to the Object menu, and I'm going to go to Expand. And now I can come in here, and I can click on this and go Object Ungroup, okay? And I can click this Object Ungroup again, and now I can delete these elements. Let me delete some of these elements. And you can see I have to delete them numerous times, okay? And I'm going to delete some of this stuff. Look at that. And what I'm going to end up with is what looks like a label, all right? I just keep deleting these elements, and I'm going to end up with a label wrapped around that bottle, and it's going to look nuts. Look at how cool this is. See, here we go. And I just got a few more things to delete here. Oh, Control Z. Let me see. I got to get the right thing here. Let me get this. I got to get that other thing if I can get it. And delete that. There we go. And then see if I can get that off of there. I'm still getting that little bit of gray there. That's a little bit annoying. Can't get that gray out of there. Let me try Object Expand again. I don't know whether that's going to help or not. Nope, I'm stuck with that little bit of gray there. I don't know. I'm not sure why that's happening either. But let me go to the View menu, Fit Artboard and Window, and let's take a look. And now I'm going to come down here and zoom in, and I see there's a couple of little things that's got to go as well. That's got to go. Delete that. And delete that. There we go. Delete this. Whoop, yeah. Delete that. And you know what? Let me move this out of my. Oh, geez, look at this. Control Z. Yeah, so I got a bunch of stuff in here. Let me lock this. Object lock selection. All right, let me see if I can now get this out of here. There we go. Delete that, and delete that, and delete this. Let me get this out of here as well. Delete that, delete that, delete that. Oops, there's still more. See, there's a bunch of stuff that you got to delete here. But I'm getting there. Delete that, and now there's a little tiny bit right there. Delete, delete. Oh, I'm still struggling with this, but I'm getting there. There we go. I'll get this out of here, and you'll see. All right, I'll get that out of here. There, delete, delete. There we go. Oh, this thing's really stubborn. Delete, delete. Okay, now this is my label. Let me move my label over just a tiny. Oh, Control Z. I didn't get it all. There we go. Let me move it over tight. Oh, geez. View, Fit Artboard and Window. I have to select the whole thing. Oh, you know why? Because I have this. I have the wrong tool selected. There we go. Now we're in business. And I can just move that over there. And now I have a bottle. Let's come in. Let's zoom in on this and let's take a look. I have a bottle that has a label on it. Now, again, I have to make some adjustments to this. I'm going to move this copy out. I'll do this next week to show you. But I wanted to give you an idea. Now, here's one other thing. I have this graphic up here. This is very cool. I'm going to come down here with this graphic. Let me go to my layers panel. I have just enough time to do this. So let me go to my cap art and unlock my cap art. And let me show you how I'm going to do this cap art. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to get the cap art, and I'm going to go to my symbols panel, and I'm going to try to drag the cap art in. And I'm going to call this a graphic, and I'm going to call this cap, C-A-P, cap, and hit OK. All right. It's going to expand this because this was a symbol. I'm going to show you how to do this next week. I'm going to do this whole thing all over again, and I'm going to correct it, and I'll make it look right. This is pretty close to what's going to happen. So I'm going to select this cap now, and I'm going to go back into my appearance panel. Where's my appearance panel? Window, appearance, there we go. And 3D Revolve, preview, map art, and once again, I'm going to go through my steps. Let me see my steps here, my surfaces. There, I want that surface right there, and I think I want the front one. Let me see if I go all the way down to the front. I think that's what I want. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to grab my cap. There it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag that cap over here, okay? And I'm going to expand the cap all the way out like this, and hit OK, and hit OK. And now, look at that, I've got a piece of cap art as well. Very cool. Now let's go view, zoom out. Fit Artboard and Window, and let's zoom in on this thing. And there you have a bottle that's rendered. Now what I would have probably done with this, let me grab the whole thing and move it over here. Control Z. I think I got a layer lock. No, I don't. Oh, object unlock all. That's what it is. So I'm going to select all of this. Just going to move it up a little bit over to here. Okay. There we have it. Now, what I would have probably done with this is I would have probably taken this symbol and I would have made this symbol probably a little bit different color. What I would have done is come in here and I might have, let me go to the gradient tool, and maybe what I would do is instead of making that gradient white like that, maybe what I would do is I would make that gradient dark like this. See, so now it's darker. Okay, so now that gradient is darker, and when I go back into this, okay, and I come in here and I map that art, I can remap that art. Let me go to my appearance, window appearance, and if I click on that and preview, there, hit OK. I don't even have to go back and do much more than that because you can see that that made that cap darker. Now, I'm going to leave this. I'm going to go File, Save. And what I'm going to do is I am going to go in and I am going to fix this label. And next week, I'm going to go through the process again of showing you how I built this thing. And next week, I'll show you how to build the box as well. But this is what I would like to see you end up doing because this is going to look really very professional. So there you go. If you have any questions or anything that you want me to help you with or clarify for you, you let me know. All right?